Once again, folks, it's like I've planned it. We have another egg to open to start this podcast. It's another 12K. Come on. Phone is still filthy.
It is.
Churn it.
Absolutely, churn it.
Vallaby's alright.
Terrible stats as well. Welcome to Secret Rare, a Pokemon podcast with me, Jordan Midler, Tom Ryan-Smith and Nathan Ellingsworth. This week, the only thing on our minds is Paldean Fates. We'll give you a bit of a set review, talk about what we've pulled so far, and anything else on our minds. But first, how are we, folks? Nathan, how is it going in your world of Pokemon this week?
All good. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Played a lot of Pokemon Go. Opened an ETB for Paldean Fates, and I think I'm definitely the person here who's got the least amount of cards. but had a fun one, and yeah, just generally getting stuff ready. This is a fun, quiet period because Pokemon Day is coming up, and like we've done everything we can in terms of covering the games. So like we're planning like features and stuff. We're doing the big stuff. Like here's why this game is better than that one. So it's fun, nice, quiet time. Plan to do some fun stuff.
Pokemon Day approaches. If you want to hear more of our Pokemon Day chat, last week's episode is ready and waiting for you. I never took down their name, but shout out to the person who sent me a YouTube short they made of that episode of me just going, buy more Pokemon cards, which I assume will be the sales pitch going forward. Tom, how's your week in Pokemon been?
There's a short from one of our podcasts. There's a reel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Someone tweeted it at me.
That's amazing.
And
I had no idea.
I genuinely thought it'd be like me saying something stupid, like when Joe left us like an essay to tell us how wrong I was. I expected it to be something like that, but it wasn't. So.
Oh, you love to see it. Well, yeah. I guess from my point, my Pokemon week has been relatively lovely. All my Paldean Fates dropped in one moment on one day. I opened all of it, not even considering the fact that I decided to make myself a Pokemon Instagram account this year and was genuinely making content on it. I was just like, no, open it now. So when I pulled that one card that I pulled, I was like, should have filmed that.
Yeah, that would have been a good video.
It would have been a good video.
When mine dropped, I was on the other side of the world. So sent me. Hard life, I know, but my girlfriend just sent me pictures of the boxes, and I was shaking because, as you may have noticed if you're watching the video version, 3 of our 4 Paldean Fates boxes are here. Hers is next to. I can't touch hers because she'll know that I've went through and tried to get some of the weird duplicates. But let's just jump into it. As a baseline, I think I got 4. Tom, how many did you get? Did you get 2? Did you buy one and then get sent one?
Yeah, I bought 2 of the Pokemon Center ETBs, got sent an ETB, and then yesterday, I ordered 2 of these sticker things, and they arrived today, and I pulled nothing.
Not even a baby shiny? Straight up nothing?
I pulled a baby shiny. We all pulled a baby shiny.
Look. Nathan, what about yourself?
I have only been on the receiving end of whatever Pokemon has graciously sent me, which so far has been 1 ETB. But I am probably going to get the Skelly-Dirge Fuecoco Shiny premium set. I really like the look of that one. I might get a couple of the booster tins as well. Like I'm the big fan of Maboschiff, so not too much at launch was going crazy for me. So I'm looking forward to some of the stuff later down the line.
Yeah, I pre-ordered
I celebrated with this brand new Voltex binder. Used the code JGM.
I also treat myself to a Voltex binder.
Nice.
I recently filled
Voltex. Come on, you're getting free advertising here. Do us a solid.
I went for the black one because it was cheaper and had same day delivery.
That's weird because all of them were the same price for me, and they had same day delivery.
I just got my regular TC Games one. I'm gonna feel like a peasant now.
The reason I pull this out is because I always do the little book so I can keep a track of what I've pulled. So I don't want to say anything wrong. Initial thoughts, Nathan, from what you've pulled. Was it a 9-pack ETB or an 11-pack they sent? How have you felt about the kind of the pack weights, the actual set itself? What's your feelings so far?
I got 9 booster packs in mine. Obviously, you get the promo Mimikyu, which is pretty cute. Quite likes that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. I got the gold foil Chi-Yu EX. Nice little one. Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Sitting pretty next to my my Charizard and stuff. What else did I get? I got Squawkabilly EX. I got a couple of the baby shinies. I got Toad Scrawl. That's the one. God, I can remember that name. I got Toad Scrawl and a couple of other ones. I didn't get too much in terms of like full art or anything too exciting, but from 9 packs, that's not bad at all. And the Chi-Yu is really lovely as well. But general quality, quite a lot of good cards in there. Quite a lot of the baby shinies. Yeah, that was it. I got Squawkabilly. I got a little Mime Junior. I got a little Grafaiai. I'm pretty pleased with it. I really like the art for this set, especially. And I know, obviously, if they're doing the shiny ones, they want to make them look really good. But yeah, I've been really impressed with it all so far. I think it's really high quality altogether, and I really do like the effect on both the gold foils and the little shiny babies.
Oh yeah,
I think it looks really nice.
I've not seen the gold foils in person yet. Like I can't.
Yeah,
I've seen people talk about how the actual blue or the gold bit is pretty flat texture, but then the actual outline is where the texture is built in, which feels like quite a departure.
Yeah, it like I think we kind of saw it on some of the preview images with the Japanese set release, but yeah, it is kind of this embossed effect. It's probably not going to show up on the camera at all, but it is like, this is kind of.
I really like how you're like, oh, by the way, here's the Charizard.
Yeah, it's just casually sitting there.
Just next to it, yeah. Like, let's not talk about it.
I've got to have a couple of good cards. You boys have got all of the amazing ones. Sorry. It is like it's like kind of like a lighter, like yellowy gold sort of effect around the edges, and those are embossed. Looks really nice. If I was to choose one, I'd say that Chi-Yu or Qianpao would have been the ones I chose. So I'm happy with that pull. Pretty chuffed. But I want that Mew. I want that Mew.
Well, that takes us neatly on. Tom, how did you get on?
I did pretty well. Like I managed to pull 2 Pawmies and a Palafin from the actual illustration rare side, and I've just got my binder out. Got my little Voltex binder.
Hashtag spawn.
Yeah. Got a Nimona and a Clive and a Paldean student, but none of them are the full fancy boys. And let me just see what shiny boys I got.
Get to it. Come on.
Toadschool, Abra, Rabska, Toxel, Relor, Oddish, Capsicid, Frigibax, I can't say that, Finizen, Weevil, and Reveroom is what I got from Baby Shinies. And then... Oh, that was a thud. I got that boy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
He got the shiny Mew. I was very happy with that. And as I was kind of saying, I wish I had filmed it, because honestly, that would have been a lovely reaction, because I was in utter shock. Because that box was dead, man. There was nothing in it, and it was the last pack. It's always the last pack, and I was just like, I think I filmed my reaction just as I started up, just as I'd got to it to kind of get something, and I must have spoke for about 10 seconds, and I just started swearing. I'm like, well, I can't use that. It's like, oh my god, I've pulled this. I'm so happy. I can't believe I've effing just bloody pulled this. I'm like, I hate me. I hate me sometimes.
I got on okay. My best pull was the secret illustration rare Nimona, the one with the Pokeball in the middle.
I love those.
It's a pretty good card. I was obviously looking for Registeel Iono, but it weren't. It's not to be yet. I got both the Paldean students, which was nice. And Judge also got the Pawmi and the Work Trio. Secret arts. Weirdly enough, my girlfriend got both of them as well, and the one ETB. Like, those don't seem too hard to come out. The Pawmi, the general kind of art rares.
The Pawmi seems to be everywhere. Like, you can't escape it. It's just there's so many of them out there.
I've seen a lot of the Pawmi.
Yeah, in terms of full arts, I got the Toadscrew, the Guard of War, and the Noivern, which are nice. Technically, I pulled the full art Mew, and my girlfriend pulled the Guard of War, but we have an eternal treaty that if I get a Mew she doesn't have, she gets it, and it's the same with Charizard, so I had to give it up. So even if I'd pulled that Mew, Tom, I'd have to give it up immediately.
So wait, those
are the rules.
Is the Guard of War the full art or the illustration rare you pulled?
No, just the full art, just the this one here. Just the general kind of full art. In terms of baby shinies, I did pretty well. I was hitting them like every other pack. I got Scyther, I got Wug Trio. We also got Artibax, Toxtricity, Parachisu, Kilowattrel, Let me see. For audio listeners, I'm going through my little book here. Noibat and Flamigo and Lechonk. Lechonk, one of the best modern shinies. That big pink bitch. Love Lechonk.
Love Lechonk. Love that boy.
But in terms of the actual set, so I'm a completionist. Like, I go for full sets, and I'm doing okay. There's like, it's a weird situation because obviously a lot of the set is reprints. There are some new cards, like there's some new art that never made it across from Japanese sets. Like, I think there's a new Magmar, Magmortar, Magby line. Like, I think that's all new. But there's also tons of reprinted EXs, like your Fortress and your Toadscruel. I pulled the Dark Charizard from Obsidian Flames that's reprinted in this set 3 times already.
Oh my god, I pulled it once. Yeah.
It's obviously, you saw when the Japanese set was getting opened, because the Japanese packs were seeded 1 EX per pack, people were getting tons of duplicates, and I'm already feeling like that with this.
I didn't know we were getting that, because normally for these sets, these specialty sets, we don't get the mass reprints, right? That's always seemed to be something that was just exclusive for Japan.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a mix usually. It's like sometimes it's stuff that's been in promos. Like, I know some McDonald's cards have been reprinted in like the mass sets, but yeah, it's a 91 card set, like for the base set, and then the final card is
it's at least
245.
245. So, oh my god.
Yeah, because there's six golds. Like, this is a long ass set to complete. I'm liking it so far. I really hope that it's printed into the ground, so that the same thing that's happened with all sets apart from 151 happens, where your ETBs are coming down to 40 and 35. I like how they've staggered the release of products. Like, it's just the ETB and the tech stickers that are out there now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got the booster bundles and the tins and the boxes and stuff like that to come later on while we wait for the next main set. Nathan, how much more are you going to indulge in Paldean Fates? Are you into it, or are you just going to maybe grab singles that you like?
I'm enjoying it. I do think I've only got a couple of chase cards, and depending on kind of how the market fluctuates, I did say I'm going to pick up the Skellydirge big promo one, where you get the huge, massive Skellydirge card and Fuecoco shinies and all that, because Fuecoco is my boy. And then I think I'm just going to keep an eye on, like your booster bundles and stuff like that, see how much it comes down in price. But I like this set. I am going to keep buying it. It's not going to be like 151 where I swear off it from the beginning. I'm having a good time. I really like the art, and we've got not too long until Tempura Forces.
Mm-hmm.
It's what, end of March?
I believe that is the case.
Yeah, so like a good couple of months. A good couple of months of picking these up.
It's a weird situation with this set. Let's pull back the curtain. In about a week's time, 10 days time, me and Nathan will be in London to go to a launch event for this set that will by that point have been out for 2 weeks.
It's such a weird timing. It's so weird.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to ask them if they know what the thought process was behind the staggered release of products, because there's a bit of that with 151. I think it was 2 release dates for 151 stuff.
And Crown Zenith did it as well.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I'm pretty sure Crown
I wasn't
did
as
too.
I wasn't like hooked into release dates back then, but I mean, it makes sense to keep stuff on shelves until it's time for Tempura, but the question remains, how much of this have they printed? So you've got 6 product lines. You've got the booster bundles, the ETBs, the mini tins, the tech stickers, which are your 3 packs, the big kind of 50 quid boxes that Nathan was talking about, and the 23 quid tins, one of which is a Charizard tin, so I will end up having to get that.
Oh yeah.
But all the stuff seems pretty easily available on release day. You could walk into shops near me, and like the Smiths near me has tons and tons of ETBs, so it's clearly pretty heavily printed. Tom, do you think this set is kind of? I'm not seeing tons of hype about it online. Why do you think that is? Is it because we saw the cards in Japan earlier, or what? Too much hype from 151? What's the problem?
I think we just sort of baby shinied out. We've done this so many times now between Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, and now this. I think we just want something new. Obviously, this set is really good because it has the illustration res, which always helps. But when you're just stacking it with the same kind of stuff we've seen before, I think the want to keep buying the product just for more of the same is not quite there. And that's probably why 151 did something really good, because it was just such a stunning set. This, as much as it does have those beautiful cards, they're so scarcely thinned out within it, that which is good, because you want the rare cards to be rare. I just think people are just done with the Fates line. They want the Fates to be something special, and at the moment, I think they're not special anymore. Just put them on pause for a good couple, like for 2 generations, then bring them back when it's something like, oh my god, the Fates lines is back, the Baby Shines are back. It's been 5 years. Let's do it then. That's kind of my vibe on it.
Did you prefer in the black and white era when you would get like, I remember specifically I pulled the shiny Virizion, which I think was part of Dragon Exalted. It was like there'd be 2 shinies and there'd be actual secret rares like right at the back of the set, like super low kind of pull rates. Do you prefer that, or do you like the fact that you can get shinies pretty easily and so many Pokemon have a shiny card now, which wasn't really the case back in the day?
I think it goes on two different ways. Like if you want your pull to feel special, it needs to be the way you describe it from black and white. But so the mass appeal that when some kids buy some cards with their parents and they have the excitement of pulling something every single time, they're going to sell more packs because those kids are getting happier. Like when we were kids and we'd open up a pack of base set and you might get a non-holo rare at the back, where you will get a non-holo rare. But that one shiny rare always felt so sparse and incredible. And that kind of spawned that whole scarcity situation with us, and I love and want to spend hundreds of thousands on cards that are so rare. But now that's not going to be an issue with this generation, and I think that's really good. It lets it more accessible and lets even the competitive be more accessible too in its own way. So I like both. I see both. From a collector point of view, no. From a worldwide love of the franchise, yeah, it's perfect. It's so good.
Nathan, how are you feeling on the Fate set? Are you fated out, or are you still into it?
The main thing I don't understand is why we're not doing this kind of towards the end of this generation, because we're doing it right now, and the main cards of this one are Mew, Gardevoir, Charizard, which are wonderful. Really happy we've got them. Love these cards. But why are we not doing it in a year's time or something with Koraidon, Miraidon?
I think I have an answer to that. The Mew and the Gardevoir are playable, and even the Koraidon, the Miraidon itself is also a gold card, the EX. So those cards that seem to be playable are the ones. This is a theory. Seem to be the ones that are getting this version of it, and also Charizard.
So it's because we're coming up to rotate. It's because we're coming up to rotation. So the ones that are still going to be playable, we're having kind of reprints of as such. I'm guessing that's it.
I mean, also the base Gardevoir from Scarlet and Violet that's been dominating everyone is in this set as well, and I've pulled a couple of times. Like it is a very kind of The only one that's like that Chen Pao that was dominating for a while isn't part of it, but apart from that, it's been pretty
okay.
I get
that.
I think I'm kind of saying it's a celebration of those cards, I guess, is what I'm kind of saying, like a reprint in the most stunning way.
Totally with that. Don't get why it couldn't be a part of Tempora Forces, and maybe not be the shiny one. And then at the end of the generation, we do these are the cards that have done well this generation of cards. Also, now we've got Iron Boulder. Now we've got bloody Raging Crown, whatever the hell they're called. And maybe I don't know, because maybe they're weird about shinies of new Pokemon, but it would be fun to be doing it with, Ogerpon and Terrapogus and loads of stuff. Like having a couple of Fuecocos and stuff, and knowing the next Fates one probably isn't going to be for years. I like it. It does feel like a bit of a missed opportunity, but I know I see what you're saying as well in terms of looking at what's doing well in the meta right now and going, cool, let's get this Mew that everyone loves and let's give it a really nice card.
I mean, if
my theory is correct that that next year's big Christmas set is a reprint set, that's maybe why they put this one here, because they have plans, and if they were to skip next Christmas and the following Christmas, it might be a problem. But I think you were about to say, Tom, isn't Ogerpon shiny locked? And I think that is also the case.
Yep.
Like a lot of these new Pokemon aren't shiny yet, so they probably don't want to debut them in cards until they say to Tom, right, Tom, go to the last remaining game and get some codes for a shiny Ogerpon and the shiny what are those horrible bastards called? How you doing? How's it going? How's your day going? Top of morning.
Oh my god, why did
Monkey Dory?
The guys make Galarian forms these just in retrospect.
Oh, they're going to be following us for the rest of for as long as I'm covering
Okie
Pokemon.
Monkey Dory and Pheasantipity
And how
before
you
Joe
doing?
Merrick's in the comments.
But are they mythical or are they legendary? Joe, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
They're Ultra Beasts.
Oh God, I rue the day that those horrible things come back, because there's just a Belesophon dancing in the background somewhere. I saw a video of someone and it was from a Pokemon event and they were asking everyone who's your favorite Pokemon, and this guy was like, Belesophon. I was like, mate, you look like you were old enough to be about 7 years old when Gen 1 started, so the perfect age, and your favorite Pokemon is Belesophon?
The noodle clown.
Exactly. The least, I mean, at least it wasn't like that Stack Attacker, that Minecraft looking thing. Like, it's...
Oh my god, it's awful.
I will say, I don't mind the Ultra Beast. Blastophon, whatever it's called, good shiny. It looks like a disco ball.
Yeah, okay, that is a good shiny, but it doesn't excuse them being disgusting boys. Yeah, I kind of agree that I think the Fates sub-brand needs a rest, but I assume that next year we're getting an anniversary set and potentially the first. That's all really hinges on Pokemon Day, because if we have a remake game this year, the last set of the year is probably a remake set, not like a set of a previous set, but like how Astral Radiance was basically a Pokemon Legends Arceus set.
Yeah, there will be 100%.
I assume we'll get something like that.
Yeah.
Like if we have an Alka Black and White, we're going to get a Black and White set, which could be cool.
Johto.
I know. Mate, fuck it. Full Neo reprint. I'll buy the Pokemon TCG Classic Neo.
Yeah, when is Gold and Silver's anniversary?
Next year. It's 25. Yeah, it's 25th. 25th. Oh, this year rather, because it's 1999. It's the 25th anniversary.
So it's Johto then. So it has to be Johto. If they're going to celebrate 25 years, we can't. Yeah.
Also, they love Gold and Silver as much as we do.
Yeah.
Well, they also love money.
Yeah. And true. Honestly, I feel like I say this every week, but if they were to do an ultra premium collection for that set that had a fancy Umbreon and Espeon, they could charge like 200 quid for it and they wouldn't keep it on shelves.
Did you say if they have a fancy Umbreon, or did you say you fancy Umbreon? Because
well, I mean, no, Umbreon's my special child. I've got Umbreon and Shiggy right here. Shiggy with a half face. It looks concerned, but
what did you call him?
He's a nice wee guy. That's German for Squirtle, Shiggy. Because the tag that I got with this just said Shiggy. It didn't say Squirtle on it. I was like, and this was from Pokemon. It's like, where did they get this? Like, did they go to the German warehouse and they're like, get some spare Shiggies to give to these journalists?
Luckily, your Umbreon didn't come with a Japanese tag.
No, certainly not. Those at home can Google that. I'm not getting this video taken down.
No.
The potential for a Johto set is massive, and I think once Pokemon Day is being and done, and we've done our episode on Pokemon Day, I think we can then strategize one episode about where products are going to start falling. Because we're also facing the point now where after Tempura Forces, the set following that will probably be the one that incorporates Ogerpon and Terapagos and all these other like random folk. Like, what do we do then? Do we we'll have all the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon in play?
We'll have to talk about it as well.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have to talk about what they call the loyal three, the horrible wee
the
men.
loyal trio. But we'll also be getting stuff like Hydrapple and some of the really Archaludon. Is it Archaludon? But there's loads of fun new Pokemon.
Oh,
yeah. Those art rares of the Paradox legendary beasts. Looking very good.
Yeah.
I am really struggling to name them what they're actually called. I really hate the Paradox.
Gouging Fire?
I can't stand it. I hate the Paradox names.
Too.
They sound like things. They don't sound like monsters. And it does my tree.
Yeah.
It's just like it's long neck Raikou, it's Entei, it's whatever. It's Entei with a crown. I'm not saying
it did kind of like I thought it made sense, like, and when I first heard about them in the context, I was like, oh, is this going to be like the in-universe name for them? And then in the game, it's like, oh, we found research that means that Iron Valiant, that's actually just Paradox Gallade, or Gallade Paradox form, in the same way that Geodude is just Geodude Alolan form, like.
Well, like with the Ultra Beasts in the original one, they were like, oh, this is UB1 or whatever. And then eventually we were like, that's not what they're called because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what I thought they were going to do as well. Because, like, when I kept hearing, like, oh, iron this and iron that, and I was like, we can't just call it that. That's shit. Like,
it's very strange that they made the decision to make them take up, like, what, 20 spots in the national Pokedex now? Like, you get to that part you get to, like, 970, and the next, all of them are just Paradox names. Like, it's... Oh, well, it's later than that because Golden goes 1000. I will stick by. That's a hilarious choice for 1000 of all the Pokemon to make Pokemon 1000. It's so funny that it's Golden Go.
You know what? At least it wasn't like a special version. At least it wasn't a new Charizard variation. Because it so could easily have been.
I bet you they were thinking about it. I bet, like, we could do a Metal Charizard. Come on now. We do a Metal one, we do an old school one, and then we'll have, 9 forms of Charizard?
They're definitely going to do that. There's definitely, like, Paradox base Kanto Pokemon. Oh no, what if they do Paradox versions of Gold and Silver Pokemon?
Well, I mean, they've got the legendary beasts, so they would just have to. They've got Iron Bundle. They've got is that the only Johto Dex Pokemon that got?
No, there's Tyranitar.
Oh yeah, there's Tyranitar. We have the weird version. We've got I suppose Farigiraf's just an evolution, but still.
Entei, Raikou, all those.
Yeah.
This is this theory is stacking up.
Fluttermane. Hang on, Fluttermane. That's
it's
technically
Mischievous. So yeah,
Mischievous, not Mismagius.
Yeah. So I mean, Gold and Silver is all about a Pokemon that can travel through time. So it's.
And also, like,
are we putting it together?
I hope it's all past
fan theory stuff that's never going to happen.
And also,
yeah,
the dogs and the cats, they're all past types as well.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Treads and Great Tusk is Donphan. Like, it's so Johto heavy that
oh, you're right.
Throw in Celebi into there. Yeah, and have a Legends game.
And also, you're right. Obviously, there's this one fan theory that the legendary beasts or cats, they're obviously cats because they're a bloody lion and a tiger, not dogs. Because anyway, they're meant to be based on Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing. But what if it is kind of like a Gouging Fire and Raging Neck, whatever they are like proto versions, and then evolution over the time, and then we see the ones in between before we get Entei, Raikou and that sort of thing.
Wasn't the stuff? I seem to have completely forgotten the narrative of that because I might be getting mixed up with. Didn't they come to being from the fire at the tower? Weren't they?
Yes, the fire killed them, and Ho-Oh brought them back to life.
Yeah, which kind of messes with the paradox idea, but they are called paradox Pokemon, so I guess you can timey-wimey your way out of it.
Oh, as if they give a shit.
Oh yeah, they can. Mate, Pokemon Legends Arceus started with God giving you a phone and be like, "Here, you've got to sort things out."
Yeah. By the way, Buddleding, here's your Arceus pad. All right, yeah, brilliant.
Nathan's moving.
Two
I realised I was
years ago
doing
now.
Yeah, 2 years for Legends Arceus. Absolute banger. To my mind, the best Pokemon game this generation still by a wide margin.
My opinion, best Pokemon game since Heart Gold Soul Silver.
I would back you up there, but with the very, very strong argument maybe for Black and White 2. But
yeah. Black and White 2 and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are the only main series games I've never completed.
Oh, so. Black and White 2, I think, are really, really good, competent RPGs in their own right, a good sequel to Black and White, and annoyingly, you have to complete it to get the difficulty modes. Yeah. The hard difficulty mode is banging. It's really good.
Like, that key system was weird. Like, you would unlock White City and Black Forest and stuff like that in the opposite game. It was an interesting time. They were trying something, you know. But I love Game Freak.
Do we think, like, we've had so many weird offshoots with, you know, Let's Go and now Arceus, and the Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl were kind of like this first foray into this type of remake. We've kind of got 3 dangling threads of mainline Pokemon games right now. What on earth? They can't do them all again. One of them must be one and done. What do you think is done there?
Out of Arceus, Let's Go, and Elka?
Yeah. What do you think they've gone, cool, that didn't work?
I don't think it's that it didn't work. I just don't think that. I think we're never getting another Let's Go game. Unfortunately, I think the moment is past. You do that, like, that game did well, and obviously it came out close enough to the height of Pokemon Go that there was still like a going concern for it. But I think that the writing on the wall was when that Go Plus, Double Plus, Ultra Plus just was released and not released in conjunction with a game. I mean, Pokemon Sleep, but come on, behave yourself. Yeah. And also the problem with doing another Let's Go game is what you can do Let's Go Johto. I always thought was a great title. However, like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, those are like you've got top tier Pokemon there, and it just comes down to who's making it, because you assume Junichi Masuda's team is on Gen 10 now. Like that's what they'll be full steam ahead on, and they'll probably, I imagine the Arceus team, because that game did like super well. I imagine the Arceus team is working on something. And I think Ilka is working on it depresses me. I think Ilka is probably working on the black and white remake. I think that the idea that we're getting some like crazy like black and white 3 is fanciful. I think we'll get pure white and really dark or pure really black or whatever it is. But the problem is, BDSP sold fantastically, and it was probably super cheap to make compared to a normal Pokemon game. Yeah. So Ilka delivered in that sense. Like, do creatures and the Pokemon company give a fuck that it reviewed badly? No.
Also, when you consider, Legends Arceus is 2 years old, which means that one came out 4 months or just 3 months after BDSP. So yeah, once we get to later on this year, it will have been 3 years. 3 years in Pokemon terms, that's a gratuitous dev cycle. That's GTA 6 numbers for Pokemon. Like, and also, 3 years, they'd normally expect 4 games out of you.
No pandemic either.
Yes, no, that is genuinely a really good point. People kind of brush over this, but much as the Western development cycles were obviously interrupted by the pandemic and working from home, Japan does not have the infrastructure that the West has when it comes to taking your equipment home, when it comes to having internet at home. There's a big separation for a lot of people of working in Tokyo or wherever and then going home in rural areas. So like people forget that the pandemic affected Japanese production in different ways to the West. So,
and
like,
they did not delay Pokemon.
Genuinely, I mean, yeah. Yeah, they didn't. They did not delay it. They did not. But yeah, genuinely, there might be a good point of thinking, hey, they've been full steam ahead, actual production, no interruptions for a few years now.
I think we're getting to game announcements on Pokemon Day. I think it will be pretty heavy one. It won't be Mr. Revis is coming to Pokemon Unite for half an hour. Like, I think it will be pretty...
We do this every year, though. Every year we always say it's going to be a big one, and then it's just the most...
What was the last genuine big one was BDSP and Arceus, so I think we are on like track for another one of those.
True. That was something special though. That was something special, that one. Like that was a one-off. That was a bang. Like last year's wasn't that good.
So good.
When you think about it in the context, last year wasn't that good.
It was just the DLC.
We did this last week, didn't we? Last year was Concierge, Sleep and that. Yeah. We're owed a big one. They can't do what they did last year. And last year, because of the DLC, did feel like a bit of a layover. Like, this is going to be... It's got to be something because shareholders.
I really hope they complete the trilogy. Complete the trilogy. Snap 3. Let's go.
Mate, I thought that second Snap game was lovely. It's the best looking Pokemon game that's ever been made.
Did you read my article about how in lore it makes no sense? Well, no one did, because it was stupid.
Run us through it.
Right. So canonically, the Snap games take place in the anime timeline because it's got Tracy and Professor Oak in the first one. Snap 2 is a sequel because Tracy's in it, but Tracy has got older. So how has Tracy got older? Because Ash hasn't. So either it takes place in the future, and in the future that it takes place in, is Ash an adult now? Is Pikachu dead? What's going on?
Paradox Tracy, Iron Tracy. Come on now. This is all going to be explained in the Johto Arceus game. Come on now.
Professor Rock might be retired. He might have Alzheimer's. Who knows?
That's why he keeps asking if you're a boy or a girl. Anyway, next story. Next story. Bad man, Tom. You bad man. Speaking of bad men, you may remember this little collaboration that the Pokemon Company did with the Van Gogh Museum for a Pikachu with a grey felt hat. If you don't remember, if you went to the Van Gogh Museum and took this little tour, you were entitled to one Pokemon card. You would also get a Pokemon card if you bought anything from the museum, which included like t-shirts and mugs and other things. But the real mugs were the employees of the Van Gogh Museum, because on the first day, it was like the Royal Rumble. People were scrapping for these cards. Eventually, the Pokemon Company decided to cancel the promotion and later sold the cards online very briefly. I got 2 of them. Shout out Jordan Midler, he's right here. Now it has emerged that some employees from the Van Gogh Museum were collaborating with scalpers to steal cards. At least 4 staffers were terminated, including security guards, cashiers, and a member of the cloakroom staff. One of the employees had worked in the museum for 25 years. Nathan, I come to you. Disappointed but not surprised?
The fact that you said the staff members were terminated has really tickled me. Like, they were taken out back.
Oh, yeah. Junichi Masuda came across with like a Gatling gun and got rid of all of them.
I'm not surprised, but also if I worked in the Van Gogh Museum for 25 years, where I assume generally day to day, not a lot of news. Like,
no,
yeah, like
it's not as if Van Gogh's coming out with new stuff. He's been dead for quite a while. New
Van Gogh just dropped.
Yeah.
Every now and again there'll be a Lego set or something, and that's kind of your year made. So I imagine this was exciting, and maybe people took advantage. It is a bit sad. Especially because, like, we say this every time with Pokemon stuff, it's a children's franchise. This is meant to be given out to kids for them to enjoy, so little 8-year-olds can go, oh, I love Pikachu. It's always sad when we see it, like, scalped and used in this way, but also it's one of the biggest media franchises in the world, and people love it, so, yeah, you kind of have to take the rough with the smooth. It's good that it's this popular. It sucks that kids will never see a Van Gogh Pikachu card. Also, why has that Van Gogh Pikachu got 2 ears?
They're not going to do that.
I mean,
they're not going to do that.
Got no balls.
Wow.
Yeah, I
teach him history.
The whole thing is like, it wasn't worth it, because I mean, if you get fired from a museum, you can get another job. It's not as if you're going to be sent to jail, but presumably these people made quite a bit of euro, if you know what I'm saying, over this. So if you were some student that worked in the Van Gogh Museum and you're like, I just made 5,000. What are they called?
Euros.
It's just euros, isn't it? There's no higher denomination.
Yeah.
Eurites. I made 5,000 Eurites selling Pokemon cards. Like, this is why. First of all, this is why the Pokemon Company need to stop doing these partnerships and not operating them themselves, because they leave it in the hands of people that aren't Pokemon Company employees, haven't got the tattoo, haven't got the barcode tattooed across the back of their head to behave themselves. And secondly, the next time they do a promo like this, print it into oblivion. Don't make it like, make it. You can get it at the they do one at the Rabbie Burns Museum, which I will kill everyone in that queue and get all of them. But you do it there first, and then it's like, by the way, this card will be in a normal set in 6 months. This is just, you get it here first kind of thing. Like, we're past the point where location exclusive promos can work because they just become scalping items. It's Tom, this Van Gogh thing was a complete disaster in retrospect, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? Like, it was a disaster on every stage. Even the rollout on the Pokemon Center, on top of that, was a disaster. I mean, 100% the Van Gogh Museum situation, we all should have seen coming. If the front was like that, the back was going to be similar. Like, Pokemon's been like that for ages. Like, go back to this thing where the bloke was stealing all those evolving skies from the warehouse. It's not shocking nowadays. People see money and they'll do what they can to get it. It's just what it is. I'm angry, but also, like what Nathan said, I'm angry, but I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
I will say, Jordan's saying about all the Pokemon employees having a barcode on the back of the head. You've now made me think that most of the Pokemon employees get kind of conditioned when they come in, and they're all sleeper cells. And if if any of them kind of leave the factories with anything that's not allowed. Junichi Masuda can just go like execute order 151 and like done.
Yep.
All gone. Or like a
They drop
Pikachu just
dead.
comes out and gets them. Yeah,
One of the big
that's
suits.
my headcanon.
I mean,
Mr. Mime comes in and goes. Shh.
Why do you think we've been invited to this party? Me and you are going to get sequestered into a separate room, and it's just going to be like a white interrogation table, and we'll be like, you boys are talking a lot of shit. Where's the third one?
Yeah.
Eh? Where's the other one?
Listen to the podcast.
For some reason, I can't attend. I just can't make it down to London that day.
We need a designated survivor. Like, if me and Nathan don't come back, we need someone to keep this podcast going. Okay. Very briefly, last little bit before we go, I got an email from Pokemon today about balls. Let's go into it. Balls,
shrunken smaller balls than normal.
Shrunken balls. Weirdly enough, just searching shrunken balls doesn't bring it up. The Pokemon Company International and the One Company expand the Pokeball replica collectible collection into a new line of mini Pokeballs. We're also getting a full-sized Beast Ball in October, which is cool. The mini Pokeballs are going to be a regular mini Pokeball, a Great Ball, an Ultra Ball, a Cherish Ball, and a Premier Ball. I really like the One Company Pokeballs. There's one right there. The actual Pokeball is right there. However, it's always £100 for one of them has always seemed like too much for me. Like, that was a gift. Like, I've never been able to bring myself to buy one for myself. I often see them in Zavi. They're like 60 to 70, and I'm like, okay, I can just about get you there. But I think if these Pokeballs are nice, I might get a couple for my office. Nathan, what are you thinking of I think the One Company stuff is really high quality. Like, that feels great. That feels exactly how you want it to feel. A lot of money, but
yeah, I will say I wasn't huge on the idea until I actually held one and went to an event or something, and they had a couple out, and I was like, oh, this is really good, actually. This feels like a really nice thing to have on your shelf. I don't know, like yourself, I don't know if I can stomach the big old 100 Chuck Bucks for a regular one, but maybe a little miniature one. Like, I'd like to get like a little Heal Ball, a little Master Ball, or something like that. Depending on the ones that come out and the price, you're right. If I see it in Zavi for like 30, 40 quid, I might dip into these smaller ones. I think this is getting to the stage where I can actually do it. And also, the one you've got, it's meant to be like 1-to-1, isn't it? Like, yeah. That's a heifer.
Yeah, it's the full hand one. I wonder if these are going to be the ones that are like belt sized, like in the anime. You know, like they have like 6 on the belt.
Yeah.
Like, if that's When are they going to invent the technology to make it go woo? That's all I want. To make it split open and the red data comes out and goes like, that's all we need. It's mental to think that within our lifetime, someone will have worked out how to do that. Consider how technology has changed from like when we were born to now. Like, another 30 year, it's going to be some hot shit. We've already got real lightsabers. So yes, the One Company continuing their collaboration with the Pokemon Company. See, when we were at TPC and they had them all lined up, I wanted that so badly. It looks beautiful, but I'm in my head, I'm like, that's 1,500 quid there. That's 1,500 quid for like 15 Pokeballs.
They are so nice though. Like, they are like, I don't have one. I've never been able to justify it because other than them making some sounds for like the price, I can't justify it. But the idea I don't like the idea of small ones, and I only say this because when I was a kid for Christmas,
not many do.
for Christmas one year, like, my parents were really lucky. They got me a Buzz Lightyear, and it was always like a real struggle around that time to get Buzz Lightyear. But they couldn't get the Woody as well, so they got me like a miniature version of the Woody, and he was smaller than Buzz Lightyear. So, but canonically, it made no sense, and I was like,
broke the game. Yeah,
it just didn't make sense. I'm like, right, in my head, in my mind, if I'm playing toys and Woody and Buzz are walking around in my mind, it ruined all the immersion. So since then, I think the idea of the smaller Pokeballs, if they're not full size, there's no point. Not for me.
So you've been haunted by a small Woody, and now you don't want small balls either.
That shit used to really wind me up too. It's like, I'm so jealous of the modern children that, you know how that line that has Ash and it has Pokemon that are size relative to him. Like, it's got like the little plastic ones, but you can get like a big Charizard and a big Venusaur and stuff. It was all the tiny little Jack specific Pokemon back in the late 90s. Like
I know the ones you mean. Yeah,
there's a few of them up there, but
I've got one.
I had an Ash, Misty, and Brock, but they were just like rubber figures that didn't move. They were just like in a pose kind of thing, and you just kind of had to like this is pish. Where's the immersion? I always wanted them to make like a. So have you seen that there's like a Japanese line of Pokemon toys? It's called like Pokemon Scale World or something like that. They're still doing it just now, and they've done like everyone. Like they've done figures of like every gym leader, like every trainer that's prominent in the game. It has all their Pokemon, and they all look fantastic. But they're so expensive because they're like really nice little models. I always wanted to get into that, but you go on there and it's like, okay, if you want Red and Red's team, that's 400 quid. Like, I do want that. I do want Red and Red's team. But come on, come on now. The world. That's one of my predictions for the next 5 years of Pokemon. They're going to go harder into premium collectibles because of people our age getting disposable income. As stuff like your statues, you're going to get way more of them.
I think
because there's a market for them. Like, yeah,
they are trying, but I think they've been unsuccessful recently with the with the what you call it, the one that I've got, the classic. I think they're going to very quickly realize that it's not the most profitable thing for them in the long run. It's like some things work, but like other things are gonna. I don't know. I think it's a diminishing returns in Pokemon right now because it's at the smallest it's been for a while. It's going down in terms of trending to the point where like sets like Tempura Forces are not being printed as much. So the idea of getting to premiums now, it might make sense for a quick buck, but I don't know if they'll sell as much as they think they will. That's just a conspiracy theory in my mind.
They've licensed, like, there is Figma, like you can go on the Pokemon Center now and see like the Figma figures that are
Figma.
Like Figma, Figma. They're really like highly posable figures. Mate, the American Pokemon Center has so much better stuff than we do. Jesus Christ. They've got like this stunning 300 quid Blastoise statue, this insane Charizard statue. My God.
Don't get me started. We've got like pin badges. Like, it makes me so sad.
That's just the thing that was meant to be fixed by this point. This was what the Pokemon Center UK was supposed to fix. I'm going to open the Pokemon Center UK now, and new releases, it's going to be a fucking Monkey Dory plush. Oh, I'm a liar. They literally have the Blastoise. Okay, now we're talking. My apologies. They literally have the Blastoise. Okay, well, Blastoise drenching waters.
Oh.
I'm getting some drenching waters looking at this.
A wet boy.
God. Boys, I fucking love Pokemon. I hate to admit it, I really do, but oh my God, my brain is just firing off looking at all this.
Oh my God, have you seen those plushy Tandemaus?
Yes, I do want them. 31 quid though, it's quite a lot.
The 400 quid Wailord is still very tempting to me, even though I know it's really stupid.
I think at one point in my life I'll end up with a Mareep and I won't be happy about it, but it'll just happen. Oh, they've got some nice shirts there. They've got a Raikou shirt that actually looks kind of hype.
Oh, don't. The shirts are my weakness. I did see when I went to Worlds, someone just walking around with the massive 450 quid Arcanine. The one that's like the size of an actual dog, and I was like, Godspeed.
Good. Anyway, this is devolved into us just shopping, so let's get out of here. Next week, I'm probably going to end up picking up some more Paldean Fates by then. I'll save some and we'll open it on the show or something like that.
That sounds good.
The countdown is on. I imagine we probably won't hear anything next week, but maybe next week we wrangle in a fourth member of this Elite Three and get their thoughts about the state of Pokemon. Joe can only dodge us for so long, but until then, remember to follow us on Spotify and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you very much if you do. Some really good watch time on these videos, so people clearly like listening to our pish. You can follow me on Twitter at Jordan Midler, Tom at Monkey Nook, and Nathan at Nate and Destroy. Every time I go to tag Nathan in anything, I always type Nathan and Destroy because I'm a square. I'm like Nathan and Destroy. What a funny little name. But that's it from us. I have to go and play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So
I'm so sorry.
My night's about to get far worse. Until next week, say goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
Say goodbye, Nathan.
Goodbye.
goodbye from my boy Shiggy and I, and we'll see you next week.
Where was the Trubbish minute?
Oh.
Look,
we nearly got out of town with a Trubbish minute.
Trubbish minute only happens when there is organically a Trubbish minute. I appreciate the effort, but there was nothing Trubbish to talk about this week, and that was Trubbish minute.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week.